Left Mexico City this morning. Wasn't expecting to be on a dirt road, and we're on a road that runs between the two volcanoes. Fortunately, we had cloud cover that meant we were unable to actually see the high peak, which I think is about 18,000 feet. We were going over at about 11,000. We're on our way down the other side, and it seems we're in quite a lot of deep volcanic ash. Charlie had a little bit of an off. It was quite a big off, actually. I watched it. Smacked himself about. But I think he thinks he's bent a disc on the front of his bike. We'll find out later. But yeah, the Ruta de Volcano, or Volcano, or however they pronounce it, is the route we're on. Quite a surprise, actually. We wasn't expecting this morning. So we're heading our way to Pueblo, which is where we're going to spend the next few days and Christmas. Christmas has been a weird time. On the way over from Mexico City to Pueblo, we came over between a couple of mountains, volcanoes. Charlie had a big fall in some volcanic ash and ended up bending a disc. My bike was not great at low revs. Hadn't really noticed too much about the charging because I was powering the battery. Anyway, got to Pueblo and it was running rough. Tried putting injector cleaner stuff through, thought it might have been a dodgy fuel, maybe a dodgy spark plug. Just went through stuff, checked it all. No, it's still running bad. Went back on Christmas Eve. Turned out my electrics weren't charging. Stator had fried the regulator. I have a spare regulator with me, but I don't have a spare stator. So I've been trying for the last few hours this morning, because everything was shut yesterday, Christmas Eve, to find somewhere to rewind my stator, but having absolutely no joy. So this amazing lady has offered us a place to stay. The insurance I took with Baja Bound covers me for recovery, so I'm now getting my bike recovered to another town 150 k's away. I'm then going to order the part from the UK because the US company can't send it here, so I will hold up there for a few days. Charlie will probably join me tomorrow. That's the story of Christmas in Mexico. Story update. So I've got to Topazlan, that's it. Where this Good Samaritan has taken me in, given me a place to stop. But it looks like we may have found somebody to rewind my stator. So my job this morning is to strip the bike, get the stator out, take the battery with me as well because that needs to be charged, and yeah, fingers crossed we can get it rewound and hopefully back on the road tomorrow, or at least the bike ready to be back on the road tomorrow. Finally, I got my stator back, all nice, new, rewound. So today's job is refit the stator, refill it with oil, do all the other stuff, and let's see if I've got electricity again. Right, moment of truth. Will it work? Bingo. Drop 1 8. Happy Clarence. Saturday, 4th of January. So the last week I've been staying in Topazlan with this amazing lady Ushma, who put myself and Charlie up in her little Airbnb and put me in contact with somebody who put me in contact with somebody who could fix the stator. The stator's now fixed, and we're finally back on the road after really not travelling far for about 3 weeks. A week in Mexico City, a week in Pueblo, and a week here. So we are on our way to Oaxaca. It's a big day today. It's going to be 450 kilometers of small roads rather than an interstate, and yeah, it feels really good to have 690 running. See there, she's putting 14.5 volts in. Sun is out. We're back on the road, heading further south into Mexico before heading up to Yukaton and then Belize. So 690 running beautifully. We arrived yesterday afternoon after about 420 k's from Tepoztlan to Oaxaca. 690, say, ran beautifully. Yesterday we had a little wander around town. Been out this morning, had a wander around town. So this afternoon's just about a bit of chilling out. But what I'm also doing is catching up on a bit of editing. While I'm doing that, I am watching Charlie because he's filling with his motorbike again.
The bus again with a broken KTM. Although it's not broken, it's just a leak. Fixing it. Now we're going to head down out of Oaxaca to Salina Cruz, and then from there we're going to turn north because we're going to head up towards the Tabasco region. So bye bye Oaxaca. You've been fun. Actually really enjoyed it here. This road, we're on the 190, it's meant to be sublime, lots of twists, and it runs down through the gorge for the next couple of 100 miles. This is a proper little Mexican town, isn't it? Theory. There it is on the left, look at that. We left Oaxaca this morning, got down to this town called something. I'm terrible with towns. We took the 190, 260 odd kilometres of twisty roads all down through the mountains to get down to the lowlands where we are now. We're only about 500 feet above sea level rather than several thousand like we were before. We now have a tropical storm going on. First time we've seen rain since we've been in Mexico. We're using the veranda thing here to prepare our food. My tent's under here. Charlie's is out there getting wet. Yeah, maybe have a proper recap in the morning. We'll kind of remember what to say.
What a wet night that was. So I moved my tent into here last night, but Charlie over there left his out in the rain, so he's got a wet tent this morning. Also, he's got an oil leak from his valve cover that he thought he'd cured when we were in Oaxaca, but it seems to actually be worse now. We were going to do that this morning, but it looks like what we're going to do is move to try and get out of this weather system to hopefully somewhere a bit drier. So we're going to head up to the north coast today. It's quite nice actually being down in the jungle, a lot greener. It was quite humid yesterday, but overnight with this cloud and everything else, it's a lot cooler. So today's task is north coast, find somewhere to stay and get Charlie's bike sorted.
So a bit of a wet night. Going to try out my new single track jacket today. It's from Adventure Spec. I've used it in the cold, but this is the first time I use it in the wet. I'm hoping. Right. That's it. The weather's got us. Jacket, trousers, everything. Hopefully it won't get any heavier, because I don't really want to put my waterproof socks on. But it is what it is. We've been graced with wonderful weather for so long. So we're now in Tabasco, well, the area of Tabasco, not far from another set of ruins. 360 odd kilometers in the rain. New waterproof jacket worked very well. Put my waterproof socks on, which was really good because my feet would have been swimming otherwise. We are here in this place. We're going to actually sleep in this, well, it kind of looks like it was a shop. I think this place was called the Chocolate Factory. So this was technically the shop front. We're actually going to sleep in there rather than putting our tents up. They've been gracious to say, yeah, sleep there. So they normally get RVs here, but they've got us here tonight. So we come to this ruins. In fact, the museum behind me is more for ruins than the actual ruin, I think. I'll have to put it at the bottom because I can't pronounce these Spanish names. So it's 80 pesos to get in, but I tell you what, the whole place looks derelict. The museum and everything around it is as derelict as the place we're visiting. So it seems that we're the only ones here. It's about 10 to 9 in the morning. Technically it doesn't actually open till 9 o'clock, but walking down this avenue of trees up in the treetops, there's monkeys walking along. I could hear them. And then yeah, up in there's a, I don't know what they call them, tribe, group, family. Wow, we're now coming out into these ruins and there's nobody here. This is so exciting. Wow, look at that. We are the only people here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, wow.
And there is the first pyramid. Wow, look at that. Just appearing out of the jungle. Gonna have a proper explore, proper look around. Don't know if we're allowed to go up them. Rather impressive, really. Don't know anything about it. All the plaques are bleached out by the sun, so you can't read what we're looking at. All I know is I'm looking at something old. Tell you, this is such a fascinating place, but I say, I know nothing about it. This area I'm in now looks a bit like, I don't know, bathhouses, but we're on the top of a monument. Ain't got a clue. Right, time to read the blurb. This site was built by invisible people. There you go.
come into this little town, hunted for somewhere to stay, and decided we'll push on a bit. Google Maps, not Google Maps, Garmin sent us this way. Don't know where it's taking us. Apparently it takes us back to the main road, but it's a sandy track. This is adventure riding, gotta laugh. The main road we want is actually over to our left.
Long day, so we've been travelling along the Gulf of Mexico, and we've found this camp spot which also has some cabins, but we're just going to do the camping because it's cheap to do camping. Been a long day, done some mileage. The journey to this point is not particularly pretty. It's a means to an end, but we've got this amazing spot. There's nobody here, it's closed, except two friends of the owners, so Ramon and Emma are here. So we're going to pitch our tents and have a look around. So ended up, we're not camping here as such, so it's 350 pesos for us to camp here, but we're kind of camping inside the cabins. Come have a look. So this is what we get for our 350 pesos. We get a cabin that we get to put our tents up in, and we put our washing line up to hang our clothes, and we get a bit of electricity. So we've been graced with sunshine. Cloudy this morning when I got up, so I was a little bit, but Gulf of Mexico behind me is looking absolutely astounding. So today we're going to head up to the ruins of Etzna I think it's pronounced, and we're going to probably camp at the campsite next to that, and then get in there first thing in the morning while it's early. Hopefully we'll have a place to ourselves again.
What a beautiful sunny day. Look at that. Trucks overtaking trucks. Madness. It's Mexico full of sugar. Oh, look, that's what you see everywhere in Mexico. Oh, distracted. So the truck was full of sugar cane, and the side of the road, as you can see, was just rubbish. And unfortunately, that's what you see everywhere here. Just rubbish dumped. What to say really, it's just very, very sad.
Last night we stayed at this cracking little, well, it's meant to be a hotel, but it's like 3 little cabins, big like function area, toilets, beautiful pond, and a miniature kind of temple just around the corner from where we are now, which is I think it's pronounced Edneza. This is another Mayan site, so we're literally going to have a wander around here for a few hours, and then we're going to head to another one. Lucky enough to be here again on our own. We've walked into this thing called Patio de Alti, and as you look behind me, there's remains. Wow. There's so much here, I don't even know where to actually look. But I think I can climb on it. Well, I'll either get shouted at or I won't. Let's have a go. I'm not being shouted at yet. Charlie's down the bottom there, watching me thinking, what's he up to? But wow, should you look at this. Wow, that's incredible. And I get to see it with nobody else here. Wow. Reading the descriptions on this space, a lot of it dates back to 900 AD to about 300 AD. I think it was abandoned in 250 AD due to the Spanish, and the Mayans or Incas now live kind of in cities and up in the hills away from people now. But yeah, I think the oldest part of this dates back to 1250 AD, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. It's quite interesting when you sit here and actually look at this construction here. There was actually two sets of stairs on this, not one. The right hand one has actually collapsed. But if you look, you can see all the boulders that would have been encased in facing stones going up the outside of the building. Pretty incredible. It's more than just a pile of rocks, it's an amazing construction. So we're sat at the top of these ruins, contemplating our history lessons, BC and AD. And either way you look at it, they're old. What a privilege to sit here with nobody else. That ain't gonna happen at Chichen Itza, whatever it is called, Itzana. Look at this. So this last bit I've just videoed, you think it's part of the ruins, but it actually isn't. It was dismantled from the original structures here and constructed in around 250 AD by a family. It's got no symmetry, it's got no bearing on the monumental structures that are around it, and it's just been reused several hundred years after the place was abandoned. Always interests me how they know those things. I've been scared by a creature. So I've done a lot of Roman ruins, Rome and places like that, and Greece, and they're amazing. Again, I find the history and the architecture and how it all evolved fascinating. Wanted for many years to come and see Mayan ruins, and now I'm actually seeing them, and they are every bit as impressive as I always hoped they were going to be. Mexico at its best. Tiny little place behind us. In there, not a word of Spanish spoken by me, not a word of English spoken by them. 24 pesos for two little taco things, 20 pesos for a Coke, about £1.80 for lunch. We like that. But this is proper Mexico. Oh. Well, this is certainly a lot bigger than the one this morning. Wow. I'm gonna be all ruined out by the end of this week. We've got some more to do in the next few days as well. That's incredible. Everywhere you turn, there's something else to look at. There's iguanas everywhere too. Unbelievable. So the reason why this place is more impressive than this morning's one, and this morning's one was impressive, was this was a royal palace, and behind me is the the one at the courtyard I just went through, is where we found that out. But this whole place is just phenomenal.